What if Deadrock is actually connected to Firetail? Deadrock could be a manga that Mashima made specifically to introduce and expand on the story element he couldn't in the original Firetail manga. But what is this story element, you might ask? My answer is the gods. The gods in Firetail are probably one of the most sidelined story and lore elements ever introduced. We knew about the existence of gods since the introduction of God Slayer magic during the Tenru Island arc, and ever since, gods kept getting mentioned as part of the lore, but we never truly saw any god in person. We saw weak imitations of their power and presence by the hands of humans like Arlok and Minerva, but we never seen them in person, or we never seen what a true god is fully capable of. Closest we ever were to meet an actual god from Firetail was during Alvarez arc, through Di Maria, but even that was technically just a portion of the power of a god using takeover magic. So the conclusion is that gods definitely exist in the world of Firetail, but the story was so focused on the conflict between humans and dragons that we never truly learned anything fully concrete about them outside the fact that they exist and they are powerful, like really powerful. And this is exactly where Deadrock comes into the picture. Deadrock, out of the bed, didn't just introduce us to full-fledged god in the first chapter, but also introduced us to multiple characters who are related to gods and godlike beings, like Hone, who is literally the descendant of Thor, or Freyr, who is technically a demon but has the same name as a god from the Norse mythology. And with the goal of Deadrock manga being about killing God, there is a high possibility that we are going to meet even more gods, and characters who are going to be related to gods from different mythologies, especially the Norse mythology. But you might ask, how does this make Deadrock a story related to Firetail? Well, the answer is Acnologia and Yakuto. In the end of the first chapter of Deadrock, we learn about Yakuto's roots. What is Black Dragon? His arm resembles that of Acnologia. Acnologia's image even showed up behind him when he punched the Minotaur guy. What I believe isn't just a reference, especially since in this scene, Mikoto says that she thought that the dragons went all extinct. In Firetail, dragons went extinct during the Dragon King festival because of Acnologia. Acnologia killed nearly all the dragons in the human realm, with only limited number of them surviving. And with Yakuto having an arm that resembles that of Acnologia's, alongside with the reference to the Dragon King festival, I fully believe that this story is playing in the exact same universe as Firetail is. To even further connect the dots, in the original Firetail manga, Acnologia lost his arm in the battle against Igneel. We never seen where did the arm go and what happened with it, it just totally got forgotten. But is a really big plot hole, especially with the new events from Firetail 100 Year Quest. In 100 Year Quest, we learn that the flesh of a dragon can give anyone who consume it Dragon Slayer magic with the attribute of a dragon. The stronger the dragon you eat from, the stronger your powers became. And Acnologia is one of the 6 strongest dragons who ever lived. The existence of his arm just lying around somewhere is a potential risk for the safety of the world. Because if anyone actually finds the arm and eat from it or even gets in contact with its blood, they could immediately gain massive amounts of power capable to put the world itself in danger. And I believe Mashima's answer for the disappearance of this arm is Yakuto. Yakuto could be Acnologia's arm itself, but manifested a body and will on its own after the death of the main body. What could explain Yakuto's extreme resemblance to Acnologia? Yakuto also could be a wizard or a demon who possessed takeover magic and decided to absorb Acnologia's arm and use its power to achieve his dreams. If demon, god, beast and animal takeover exists in the world of Fairy Tail, the possibility of a dragon takeover magic is highly possible. Now, another reason why I believe Dead Rock might be a manga connected to Fairy Tail is another plot element we got introduced in Fairy Tail, but didn't really went as it should have, and that is Ragnarok. Ragnarok was an event in the original Fairy Tail manga. It was the Alvarez War or the Second Dragon King Festival, call it how you like. The entire war was technically between humans, and even if the world was in danger, it wasn't close to destruction in the form of Ragnarok. Zeref wouldn't have destroyed Earthland, he would have just rewrite the history of the planet, while Aknologia would have just ruled over it. In Norse mythology, Ragnarok is a series of events and catastrophes that will ultimately lead to the destruction of the entire world. Ragnarok comes to its climax in a final battle between gods, the demons and the giants, ending in the deaths of the gods and the destruction of the universe. Technically, nearly everyone dies. And this is exactly what direction Dead Rock is heading. Dead Rock introduced us to multiple characters who have their ties to Norse mythology, where Ragnarok comes from. Hien the Fenrir, Onei the giant who is related to Thor, Freyr who has the same name as the god of fertility from Norse mythology. You also got Yakuto who is a dark dragon. The dark dragon in Norse mythology is Nighthawk. I think I pronounced that right. The dragon who sucks on the roots of the world tree and feeds on the dead. This could also explain why those Yakuto show interest in Mikoto and vice versa. She's a necromancer. She uses magic or ability that brings the dead back. We also got characters like Orochi, who could easily fit the role of the word serpent. We got Chaco, who could fit the role of the eagle, but Nighthawk keeps having beef with for absolutely no reason, outside of the fact that he just can't do that. Nearly all the characters in Dead Rock 7 are either from Norse mythology, or could be fit into the role of a character from Norse mythology. And with Yakuto planning to kill God, it is really clear that the Dead Rock manga is heading towards a Ragnarok. And this is exactly where it could connect to Fairy Tail, especially with the last key element for Ragnarok existing in Fairy Tail, and that's Surtur, or in other words, Natsu. In Norse mythology, Surtur is the strongest fire giant or demon, who brings upon the destruction of the world, while in Fairy Tail, Natsu is the strongest demon of Zeref, who also was said to be capable to burn this world, not once, but twice. Even his full name means the end. Surtur, the fire giant or demon, is foretold as being a major figure during the events of Ragnarok. He will battle a major god named Freyr, and afterward the flames that he brings forth will engulf the earth, leading to the destruction of the world or the universe. What a coincidence that Freyr exists in Dead Rock and possesses fire powers. It is definitely just a coincidence and not Mashima making a build-up for an all-out battle between Natsu and her. What will eventually lead to Natsu losing full control of his powers and finally turning into E and D, bringing upon Ragnarok. Dead Rock being a manga that is connected to Fairy Tail makes perfect sense. Yakuto having Aknologia's arm, the reference to the Dragon King Festival, the gods, Natsu being Mashima's version of Surtur, the characters being from Norse mythology, all the chaos what happened during the run of Fairy Tail and after the Alvarez War. Yakuto even asks the question if there are multiple human worlds. In Fairy Tail there are countless human worlds, like Elentir, Edolas, Earthland and so on, like a shit ton of what Selene destroyed. Yakuto asking this very specific question makes everything makes much more sense. Everything makes perfect sense for Dead Rock to be a build-up manga for the new Fairy Tail sequel after 100 Year Quest. I can totally see Dead Rock being a build-up manga to introduce the gods and the final antagonist of the Fairy Tail franchise, bringing upon a majestic finale for the series but we never seen before, ending everything in Ragnarok and, I don't know, a happy ending. But what do you think? Is Deadrock connected to Fairy Tail? Or all the similarities are just references to Fairy Tail and nothing more, and I'm just crazy? Please let me know in the comment section below, and see you guys in space. Bye!